everyone. Many of you have reached out to me on social media saying, Ashley, what do you think about Game Changers? For those of you that don't know what Game Changers is, it's a recent documentary on Netflix that's all vegan based. Most of you I think all know, I am not a vegan. It doesn't mean I'm necessarily completely against it, but it's not my choice of lifestyle and how I want to eat. So on that note, comment below and let me know what your style of lifestyle is. Just because I really like to know what people are doing out there. Alright, so first thing I want to mention, if you guys haven't watched Game Changers, is that there's been a few podcasts out, one of which I'm going to talk about now with Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan had Chris Kresser on there as well as James Wilks. Now, James Wilks during this podcast was just at Chris Kresser the entire time, which we knew was going to happen because Chris Kresser is on one wing and Wilks is on the other. Now, I will give Wilks some credit here because he did go for the throat, which is not very vegan of him, but did go for the throat of Kresser because this guy's trained mentally to just seek and destroy. He's a retired MMA fighter, and he teaches other people just pretty much how to fuck shit up. So this guy went in with that mentality, and he didn't destroy Kresser on facts. I just don't think Kresser knew how to bounce back or reply. Because Chris Kresser is kind of a pussycat. He's just very polite. So on that note, Chris Kresser didn't really get to go back and forth with Wilks, in my opinion, just because I don't think Kresser is a kind of argumentative type of dude. He's very fact-based. That being said, I'd really like to see Joe Rogan have Wilks back on. But with guys like Dr. Paul Santino or Sean Baker, and the other reason why I say this comment is because during the podcast on Joe Rogan, Wilks for some reason tried to discredit Kresser's knowledge and expertise and his masters that he has. The bone I have with that is if you actually look at Wilks' education, now maybe I'm wrong, maybe there's more to what he has behind him, but from what I was able to find was that the only thing that Wilks has in terms of education is a Bachelor of Science in business and land management. So again, if you guys haven't heard this podcast, you can go on YouTube or you can go on iTunes and listen to it on Joe Rogan's. I honestly don't know why Wilks was trying to come after Kresser's credentials when you have none. You punch people in the face and read a lot, which is cool, but don't come on a podcast and try and discredit someone who's got education and knowledge on the subject. So with this vegan propaganda or vegan-based documentary, Wilks, who's the main, I think he's one of the main producers behind this movie or documentary, he's also done a lot of other YouTube videos, which you can easily find on YouTube. One of the other points they made in the documentary was comparing animals who eat grass, graze on grass and plants, which is fine because you have animals who are pretty much vegetarians or herbivores and they eat plants. But what they don't talk about are the animals who fuck shit up and eat meat. Look at cheetahs. Look at lions. There are animals who are carnivores. There are animals who are omnivores. But they don't mention any of this. Pretty sure I'd be more inclined to be a lion. Just saying. So the argument that these animals are only eating plants, cool, that's a fact, but you're also missing, again, the herbivores and omnivores of the animal kingdom, which I don't think enough is being talked about. So when you're watching a movie such as this one, please have an open mind. And don't think just because some animals are eating plants and they look like they're big and muscular, it doesn't mean that a whole bunch of other animals are fully functioning off of being omnivores or carnivores. All right, let's go on to you can't get enough vitamins and minerals, it's whatever, out of an animal-based diet. And that's something else they were going on in the movie and also mentioned on some podcasts. That I'm going to disagree with, not because I've been doing the carnivore thing for a bit to test it out, but because that's actually not factual. If you look at the organ meats in an animal, that's where you're going to get things like vitamin B, B12, folate, magnesium, selenium. You're going to get the vital nutrients that you need out of organ meats, which is why when you go on something like a carnivore diet, you're told to do something called nose to tail, which is you're eating the organ meats but also the other meats. Like a lot of us going into carnivore, if they're uneducated on it, which is fine, we'll eat lots of steaks and poultry. but you're forgetting the main component, which is the organ meats, which you can get in a supplement form, like ancestral supplements in the States. You can get that stuff, and they have all the organ meats in a capsule. Personally, I don't want to eat on a fucking heart. I would rather take a supplement to get the nutrients I need out of it. In organ meats, you can also get fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K. So you don't need to go and take other supplements from your supplement store. You can get everything in the animal, and it's not anything coming out of my ass. There's studies on this. One of the other things that really bothered me in this movie and on these podcasts is saying that animal agriculture is the main reason why the planet is being ruined. That I'm going to argue, because why are these vegan films solely focusing on animals? Why aren't we focusing on, I don't know, the damage of oil, how the oil industry is also affecting our planet, the pollution, the garbage. Look at our seas coming in with a bunch of garbage, plastics. Why are these not being mentioned? Why is it, oh, the cows are bad, methane, blah, blah. What about how much it takes to be able to grow plants? That's also a problem. So all this propaganda is saying that animals are the reason why the planet is going to fucking end and everyone should go vegan, I don't agree with. There's a lot more problems in this world that are causing us to go down the shitter, and I don't think the main reason is animal products. Other things they mention in this documentary is saying that red meat causes cancer or red meat causes heart disease. What you're not talking about enough in these documentaries is, why don't you pull out the studies and actually read them out and talk about what these individuals were eating with the red meat. What was their daily like? What was their activity like? Be descriptive of what these people were doing while eating, say, red meat. Were they eating junk food? Were they eating sweets? Were they not as active? What kind of activity were they doing? And they don't go over this in the documentary. So food combining is a huge reason why some people can't digest things and why other bodies have a negative effect with nutrition. Genetic disposition is another big reason as to why some people are better off being herbivores, some people are better off being carnivores, some people are better off being omnivores. You have to take the genetic disposition of the individual to figure out what works best for you. What are the enzymes that your body has? How can your stomach break down these foods? So to make vegan propaganda saying you need to go vegan to save the world or because it's the healthiest thing for you, I don't agree with. There's over 7.5 billion people on this planet. And you're telling me that everybody needs to be vegan? Are you bent? No, we are not made the same. Some, again, will work better off plants than others. Some will work off meat better than others. So to have all these movies coming out saying this is the one and only way to live your lifestyle is a crock of shit. Learn for yourself and test out stuff. That's why I test out different lifestyles to see how my body functions. That's going to be a whole other video coming out about what I found doing keto, high fat, low carb, paleo, carnivore, and vegetarian. Yes, I've done vegetarian. So if you have questions on any of the stuff I've done, or you have comments about the movie, or your own input, or even about how you live your lifestyle, how you supplement, please write below. I'd love to know. It also helps me put out more videos. If you'd like me to interview anyone and try and get them on here, I would love to do that. So let me know who you'd like on here. Please like, subscribe, and hit that notification button as well so that whenever I put out a new video, you have it. So thanks for watching, liking, commenting, and we'll see you on the next one, which might be on oxalates.